My name is Alex, aka Norris25, and I'll be your caster tonight, as well as Christian, a good friend of mine that we drafted to help with the cast tonight.
Drafted. I'm here hostage. That's what this is.
Tell him how it
I
went.
don't know
Tell
about
him
that.
exactly how it went.
We got into the casting booth and he was just there, so we're like, why not? We'll run with it. And so
Promise he was
we're
not
getting
dragged.
we're getting into the draft phase between Shadow Puppies Unleashed and Goopmeisters. We did see Shadow Puppies last night. They had a really strong showing in their games. And let's see what they can do again tonight. And so we have B1 Kaisa being banned out.
And
Katarina being banned. So Christian, Shumpo Mechanics, the mid laner of Shadow Puppies, is actually a Katarina one trick, if you couldn't tell by the name.
why?
And one thing that was really interesting was last night when we were watching them play, the other team that they were facing chose Dan over Steven. They didn't actually ban Katarina at all. It was really weird. So I kind of like seeing Goopmeisters ban out the Katarina, but I also don't really have much of a metric of like how good of a Katarina player Shumpo Mechanics is, because it never got brought out last night.
Well, Katarina can be a really strong champ if she can get ahead early.
Exactly.
So.
And then I see the Udyr ban and the Vladimir ban, which is
Vladimir,
interesting.
okay. We got some pretty good bans out here.
I like the Seraphine ban because Shumpo actually played Seraphine last night, and it was extremely potent on Summoner's Rift, and it's definitely something that Goopmeisters don't want to see again.
You got Urgot pick, okay, top.
Puppet Masters had a really good performance on the Urgot as well last night. That was one of the other champions that he played. I like the Ornn in response. Not necessarily, I don't know really as like a vacuum answer to the Urgot, but it does help with the scaling. Anivia as well is going to be another really strong pick coming out from the Goopmeisters.
Well, it seems like they're aiming for the late game with Ornn and Anivia now. But Ornn's gonna have a tough time against Urgot since he struggles against range matchups.
Mm-hmm. It'll definitely be interesting to see how they navigate the early laning phases with the Ornn to make sure that Puppet Master doesn't get too far ahead.
Okay, a Sivir pick.
I'm surprised how Sivir got really strong in the meta with the newer items, because like for the longest time, I feel like she kind of was just like irrelevant, and now all of a sudden she's popping up everywhere.
But that's the thing with the new season. A lot of the newer items brought back a lot of old champs that used to not be played,
Yeah,
and we're seeing champs being played a lot differently now.
yeah. And I mean, look at Udyr.
Yeah, Udyr was a champ that was pretty much dead into the ground. Very rare, but with all the new items and Chem Tank, you basically run Udyr with Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. And it does look like it that the Maokai is actually an error in the pro draft, and it's actually supposed to be Ari. So I do believe that's going to be the mid lane pick for Shadow Puppies.
Yeah.
With the Maokai in mind, and since we have seen some spicy picks here, we did see Echo support. I believe it was last week. What are your thoughts on it possibly being like some like weird spicy Ari support?
Ari support, oh boy.
We've all we've
Ari support's definitely a tough one to go against, especially if they land charms. Because
Mhm.
that lets them get the early pressure going.
And I do believe as well that Poppy is going to be going in the jungle. Enos, the jungler for Goopmeisters, on the first week that I casted, actually, it was he was on Poppy jungle, and it was really scary actually. And I do like the Poppy pick because it does help kind of neutralize a little bit of the mobility that's going to come out from the Ari and the Urgot as well.
Definitely. Poppy's really strong against mobility champs. She counters the majority of the champs in the game.
If you're trying to dash, you can't do it anymore.
Yup.
And then Jinx and Swain coming out as the last two bans for Shadow Puppies, as well as Senna and Kha'Zix coming out from the Goopmeisters. Leona's so I don't know how I feel about Leona, right? because you already have Anivia, you already have Ornn, and you already have Poppy. Like if I'm Sivir, I'm picking up I'm getting a QSS. I'm taking cleanse. Like if I'm Urgot, I'm getting Mercury treads. If I'm Ari, getting Mercs. You know, and like so like the value of the CC that I feel like kind of diminishes when you draft her into a composition like what Goopmeisters has, where it's already so heavily focused on locking down people.
Guaranteed they can get locked. They can lock down people with Ornn, Anivia, and Poppy, but their engage isn't that strong since Poppy really has to walk in early and they have to rely on Ornn's ult to engage, if anything. So Leona was really a 50-50 pick here, I'd say.
Yeah, and then Shadow Puppies just respond with Morgana on B5, and Morgana's obviously going into the bot lane, and the Ahri is going mid lane. Draven coming out from the Goopmeisters is nice. It definitely can abuse a little bit of like the weaker part of the early laning phase that Sivir will have. But with the spell shield on Sivir and the black shield on Morgana, it's going to be really hard for anyone on the bottom side of the map, including the jungler on the side of Goopmeisters, to really stick onto LeCheshire, the Sivir, the AD carry player of the Shadow Puppies. And so it's going to be a really interesting game. I honestly feel like Shadow Puppies won this draft. I don't like how all in Goopmeisters went on like the hard crowd control and the lockdown. And like you mentioned, with their composition, they don't have the best engage. I feel like they have really powerful counter engage. With the Ornn, with the Poppy, with the Anivia, but I'm not sure about like them being able to initiate fights, how that's going to work out for the Goopmeisters.
I think they can initiate fights pretty well. Specifically, Ornn ult, you can use it either both ways. You can use it as disengage or engage. Leona also can be either used to peel or to engage also specific. Her ult is really good for team fights. Though it is going to be hard since I don't think they're going to get much picks in the early game against Morgana and Sivir.
Yeah.
You got you got 2 spell shields to essentially deal with.
Yeah, and then there's also the possibility that Sivir will take cleanse as well. Like if they really want to hammer down on making sure that they don't get locked down, and then I mean at that point it's going to be this Sivir is actually going to be surprisingly slippery if you're being so immobile.
Yeah, Sivir is pretty fast in general though. Her ult is going to be very useful for their team.
Mm-hmm. The Nidalee pick is kind of interesting as well. I kind of would have liked to see like a Lilia maybe instead. Just because Lilia does help the scaling on the side of the Shadow Puppies, and I feel like she fills the similar niche that Nidalee fills, which in like my mind is like a fast clearing AP jungler that also has relatively good gank setup.
She would be really good into that team, especially because she'll synergize well with Sivir.
Yeah, exactly. Like you give Lilia more movement speed, and she can zoom even faster.
She's a zoom. She's gonna go zooming. Essentially turns into just a race car.
Just engage overdrive, speed boost.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if Bozon's going to be able to kind of get the snowball going on Draven though in the bottom lane, even with all of the peel self peel options that LeCheshire has, as well as the help from Morgana. I'm interested to see if Draven's still going to be able to kind of get the early lead in the laning phase like he wants to, and get a couple of kills to really get the snowball going. Because I mean, I've seen Draven with the new items, and if he gets going, it can be really, really hard for the enemy team to bear with him.
Draven has that really strong early game, so it's possible. Guaranteed if when they get ganks by Poppy, it's definitely gonna be more of a problem for them if Draven gets fed.
Definitely.
And even if they don't go long without a fight, like Draven's gonna get a lot of stacks for his passive.
And then that means that when he does end up getting a kill, it's just going to be even more gold piled on top of him.
You know, that's a
What I do like though, what I do like the Anivia though, because if I remember correctly, I do believe the last time I saw the Goopmeisters and I saw Spent Puppy on Anivia, it was pretty scary. And I mean, obviously the mid lane gank setup is really nice with Anivia and the Poppy combo with the Anivia wall into Poppy charge to stun them against Anivia's wall.
Yeah. You have to have some really great synergy to land them, too.
hmm We'll see what they can do. They've been playing for a good couple. All these teams have been playing for I believe about 5 weeks or so at least now, in terms of just the intramurals together. So we'll see how well their synergy is as we get ready to go into game number 1 of this series.
Anivia can be detrimental or a game changer. So
hmm
you get
Definitely.
you get the accurate walls going down. Enemy team's gonna hate it. Guarantee you keep them in your you can keep them in your ult. You can block them from leaving. They
But
don't have.
if the wall placements aren't perfect, then it's kind of just like, well, you screwed us over.
Yep. Especially plus they don't have that. They don't have much mobility besides Ari and Nidalee, so they can't really
Mhm.
get over the wall without using flash.
Yeah. So it's definitely, especially I think once we get into the later stages, it's going to be really a test of how well Spet Puppy can kind of position throughout team fights and get the crucial walls to create choke points even for that Shadow Puppies are going to have to try to find some way around. As much as I hate Anivia as a champion, I really enjoy like the terrain um
The terrain.
the terrain control that she has, like where she can create choke points. It's kind of similar to Talia with the Weaver's Wall and
Yeah.
how she can use that to create choke points at like Dragon and create choke points in the river and stuff like that. Um, it's a really cool aspect of the game that not only I think only like 2 champions really have the ability to like mess with 3 if you include Trundle's Pillar. But it's a really neat mechanic if you ask me.
It is. I find it really annoying though. I used to play Anivia. I can't do it anymore though, ever since they changed her ult.
What they change about her ult when like when did they change it?
It was a long time ago when they changed it. What they made it do is her Anivia's ult grows in size now. Instead of it used to just you used to just spawn it and it will already apply frost so that you can get her E down, which is
hmm
but now it grows in size and then once it fully sized it applies the frost.
Okay. I actually didn't know that about Anivia's ultimate. Well, you learn something new every day.
Well, for as long as I've played the game, well yeah, there's a lot of things that have changed throughout the time.
Yeah, I remember like the iconic things, like when they changed Mordekaiser's ultimate to like where like he could steal dragons and stuff. Like when that was a thing, I remember that
That was
vaguely.
a big game changer.
That was crazy. I
A
remember
lot of,
when Urgot's ultimate used to have you swap places with the target.
oh yeah, that was fun. Oh,
just your
mhm.
just swap places with the enemy AD carry. The what mechanic?
Garen used to his ult would deal more damage to one specific enemy, and it was the villain
Villain.
mechanic.
Yeah,
It was
Oh no, I don't
awful.
remember that. That was crazy.
The only
Yeah,
good thing
Garen.
about it was playing roleplay Garen, where your entire goal was to find an ult within. Some people
So
didn't like that.
Garen's villain mechanic for was I think it was the person who did the most damage on their enemy team. They would become the villain and you would deal more damage to them. You also deal true damage, and his ult would be increased.
Oh lord, that's crazy.
It was pretty spooky.
Yeah, that's oh my god. Like just thinking about that, it's like you do more damage, so he does more damage.
I still remember the times where Poppy could just ult one person on the enemy team and nobody can do anything to her.
Jeez, how everything has evolved throughout the years with League of Legends. It's really interesting.
There's a lot of champs that have changed. There's some champs I can't even remember their past selves. I remember old Poppy. Scion. I can't remember Scion.
A lot of those old versions of champions are too old for me. I played like a long time ago, and then I stopped playing until like 2020. So there's a whole like 5 or 6 years or so of League that I just don't know or don't remember for the most part.
I played old Yorick. Old Yorick was so fun.
Both teams are starting bot side of the map, so both Asian, Riceman, and Enos will be pathing up towards the top side at the end of their respective clears. It'll be interesting to see if either of them decide to try to make something happen, and if they'll end up clashing. So it'll be a full like top lane 2v2 at the end of their clears.
They're gonna have vision over Nidalee too. It seems that red side boarded.
Yeah. Notice that as well. I believe that was from Enos. So Enos will be able to see once Nidalee is on the blue buff. And Nidalee also elected to not clear the rest of her red side jungle and just went from red to wolves instead of opting for a full clear.
He's gonna clear Gromp and then probably head top.
Cheshire and Prasa here do get level 2 first as well. Lane seems rather neutral right now.
Everything seems pretty neutral.
And I do believe Nidalee is finishing up the Gromp right now. She just finished it. And let's see if she's going to try to go for the Scuttle Crab or maybe see if she can make something happen top lane. I think with Urgot being pushed in, I don't think they'll be able to make anything happen, but it does look like she's going to invade over on the red side by the Raptors.
Invade the Poppies. Finish? Yeah. It takes one little Raptor and then just walks off.
It's like, you know what, I've had my fill. I'm done here. I got my chicken nugget.
Looks like Nidalee's going for more. Anivia's moving up and so is Ari.
Oop, gets knocked up against the wall, and that's first blood for Enos. That's what we were talking about with the walls.
The walls. The greatest friend.
The crystallize is too OP, especially when you pair it with the heroic charge from Poppy. There really just wasn't much that Asian Riceman could have done there. I think he got a little bit greedy, kept on trying to counter jungle and like contest those Raptors, and it even though Shumpo Mechanics did have priority with the Ari, and Asian Rice and Puppet Master's flash is going to get blown there too. That's really good for the top side of the map. Enos got the farm advantage, got the first Scuttle Crab, got first blood, and then also blew the flash on Puppet Master. So that's going to give Noir Ninja a little bit more leeway in terms of safety to farm, knowing that Puppet Master's not going to be able to flash on him at just any point in the game. At least for like the next 5 minutes or so. Zenith Blade does come down onto Prasa here, but the Black Shield's going to come out and dissuade any other kind of engage.
Since engaging on the shot, they're gonna get a kill.
Zenith Blade does connect to Prasa here. Let's see here. Poppy's coming in. Flash comes out from Morgana. Draven's gonna Poppy's gonna flash forward. Heroic charge against the wall as Bozon picks up the kill. That was really well played. It did take the flash from the Poppy, but they still were able to secure a kill onto Bozon, and the lane is not looking too good right now for Cheshire. It's pushing in, and Sibra only has about half HP. You know, and there's going to be a lot of
invade here.
Going for another invade. She believes she does get the Gromp with the smite, but she might be in a little bit of trouble. Sun comes out now. Charm is going to land onto Spent Puppy, but the ultimate's coming down from Nivea. Zenith Blade comes in. Shumpo Mechanics has no way out as Bozon picks up a second kill in the game. We swap back over to top lane. Noir Ninja and Puppet Master are in a little brawl, but the Orin Pillar picks up the kill is Goopmeisters seem to be in full control of this game. Only 5 minutes in, 5 kills. I believe this is what you could call a fiesta.
This is definitely a fiesta. Oh,
I heard somewhere that the definition of a fiesta, Christian, is if the teleport coming out now from
like
Spent Puppy
bot
onto the bot lane is Bozon just running through, putting down a damage. Flash is going to come out from Sivir. Heroic Charge comes in onto Prasa here, and as JRTC picks up kill onto Leicester, and Spent Puppy picks up a kill to put themselves on the map 1-0-3. It's just really fast-paced plays here from the sides of Goopmeisters.
they've definitely secured a lead very early on. 6 minutes in.
6 minutes in and a 3,000 gold lead in favor of the Goopmeisters. Draven is 2-0. That's not a champion you want to know at only 6 minutes and 50 seconds into the game. They picked up the first Mountain Dragon. And Asian Riceman still in the topside jungle. Might get caught out here by Noir Ninja and Enos. Heroic Charge does come over the wall. Drops down a little bit of field. Nidalee is going to have to flash away. Ornhorn's coming out. Let's see if they go for it. Charm does land onto Spent Puppy, but nothing's going to come of that. Still, I don't know how I feel about Asian Riceman trying to invade so much. I feel like he's trying to force too much, and it's costing too much. Like, he's 0-2. He just had to burn his flash, and he's only 9 CS up on Enos, but Enos has 2 kills.
2 kills, 3 assists on Enos. He's forcing way too much. He's getting himself farther behind each time. Plus, they're able to roam up on his invades, and he keeps getting called out. That's danger. Danger.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's working out. And Poppy's kind of gonna come here again. Heroic Charge, Disdain will flip him over, and it looks like Puppet Master will walk away from that one with his life. A little bit of action going on in the bot lane. Draven's gonna get some damage down. Pop from Leona will get the kill with the Eclipse. And it's just Leicester can't lane anymore, I don't think. I think even with the spell shield, even with the black shield, it's just too much.
Yeah. Draven is busting his head a lot now. Guaranteed if they're gonna snowball the lane, it's gonna be dangerous for them.
And I mean, he already has the Noon Quiver and the Vampiric Scepter, and he probably has some more gold still on him. Looking like at about 700 gold in his pockets right now. Almost has the shield bow finished, I imagine. A little bit of a tussle over here on the top side of the map. Disdain will flip Noir Ninja over towards the turret, but he won't take aggro, as he decides he's just going to walk that one off. Dark Binding does land onto JRTC Cadet, and the ultimate will come out.
Oh, Noir Ninja engages on Puppet Master, and
Flash comes out, not enough, and Asian Riceman is going to be here. The spear is going to miss. Let's see what Noir Ninja can do. Trying to get back out of there. He'll go unstoppable. Knockup comes through. Flash comes out from Noir Ninja. Let's see, and
Noir
he gets
Ninja
the
gets
kill.
the kill. Oh, they traded.
That was really well played by Noir Ninja, but I think he stayed a little too much, and I believe it was the minion aggro that actually took him out there. I'm pretty sure it was, looking at it. But I mean, still, that's the Shadow Puppy's first kill of the game. 10 minutes in, and it's 1-9. Draven already has the shield bow finished. Noir Ninja almost has Sunfire Aegis finished. Like, it's not looking that great for them. Not looking that great for the Shadow Puppies. And what's important to realize too is because of the lane state and the top side of the map, Noir Ninja didn't have to burn teleport to get back to lane either. And so there is going to be a teleport advantage here for at least another minute or so. Enos getting caught out on a ward. Going to go ahead and clear that and then try to walk on out.
Looks like they're gonna go for the drag here now.
Yep, Ocean Dragon spawns, and it doesn't really look like there's any contesting from the side of the Shadow Puppies. We see Nidalee up in the top side jungle on the Krugs right now.
It's gonna be the second
Might
drag.
go for a play on the top. Does Dane Desler down? Ornn's gonna try to dash away. Still getting chased down though, and the Fear Beyond Death drags him back in.
Executed.
Good to get some gold on the Puppet Masters. Unitblade comes in as Shimpo finds herself in a 1v2. Heroic Charge does knock him against the wall, not the Anivia wall, but it'll still be enough as Spent Puppy picks up the kill there. I don't know. It's not looking that great because I mean, yeah, they've got 2 kills on the top side of the map for the Shadow Puppies, but I mean, they have Draven on the side of the Goopmeisters. Up Ornhorn coming down is going to knock up Puppet Master. Gonna come through with the dash and the solo kill for Noir Ninja. But like how I see it is, they have the Goopmeisters have Noir Ninja on Ornn and Spent Puppy on Anivia, both who scale really well. And Draven's ahead. Bozon's ahead on the Draven. And it's kind of a scary position to be in if you're the Shadow Puppies, because what do they really have to play towards? Sivir eventually scaling up? Urgot eventually scaling up to the point where he can kind of ignore Noir Ninja? Is that even something that's possible, really, in the later stages of the game?
With this, well, Urgot's passive will definitely shred Ninja later on in the game. But definitely they can't play around with that.
Like, it just seems like looking between the two teams, the team that I would have, like, in my head was worried about, like, getting the lead early game was going to be Goopmeisters. Like, if they get the lead early, it seems like it's going to be harder for Shadow Puppies to get back into the game. Especially with a jungler like a Nidalee. You know, where Nidalee likes to play from ahead. And yeah, while there is a about a 31 CS lead right now between the two of them, what does Asian Riceman really have to show for it? 1 kill? No objectives on the map? Like, it's not looking that great right now.
Definitely not looking that good.
A summoner has disconnected.
Game is paused. Looks like Enos is having some lag, and so they're going to be restarting. So with this pause, what do you think? What do you think the Shadow Puppies are thinking right now, and what do you think they're talking about right now?
Well, it's gonna be hard for Shadow Puppies to come back from this. Guaranteed, the entire of Poopmeisters are ahead, and if anything, Asian Raceman is gonna have to play around Urgot and try to get him fed.
You think they focus more on the top side of the map and try to kind of like get the advantage from there? Because obviously they have to find some way to get back into this game. They're 2 dragons down. Soon it's going to get to the point where they won't be able to just give Goopmeisters dragons, and they're going to have to contest them because it's Infernal Soul this game. And if you give a Draven Infernal Soul, if you give an Anivia Infernal Soul, it's going to be really scary.
Yep, people are going to pop left and right. Guaranteed they're going to have to play around top side of the map.
Yeah, and even then, taking a look at the gold difference as well, it's just shy of 4,000 in favor of Goopmeisters. So the counter jungling that Asian Riceman has been doing and the CS difference that's in top lane is making up for some of that. Because if everything else was dead even, I imagine it would be very, very skewed in favor of Goopmeisters, way more than it is right now for them having 11 kills.
Goopmeisters just had the perfect early game.
Everything went
Everything-
right for them, starting with Asian Riceman in his invade on the chickens. Like the placement of the crystallized wall from Anivia and layering that with the heroic charge from Poppy, that's where I feel like everything is kind of gone wrong. Like that's where everything started going wrong for the Shadow Puppies, I think.
Yeah. Asian Riceman just kept invading and got caught out each time they were able to roam up and catch him through the.
It'll definitely be interesting to see what they can come up with in terms of a way to get themselves back into this game, because it is possible. Game's not lost yet. Draven
Yeah,
can be shut down. If they get some gold, I think for the earlier parts, for once they get into the mid game, they need to focus on Urgot a little bit and give a little bit more attention to the top side. But I do think once Leicester gets there with the items and starts getting items on Sivir, I do believe that Leicester eventually will outscale and outdamage Bozon. And I'm sure that's something that Goopmeisters have considered. And while they do have the backup with Spent Puppy and with Noir Ninja to help with the scaling, I'm sure that's something in the back of their mind where they're like, we don't want to let this drag out too long.
for sure. They're gonna have Puppet Master's gonna have to get a really good TP play down bot if anything. Then
That's what
Goopmeisters
I'd love
all
to
have
see.
bounties. So
Yeah, that's what I'd love to see. I'd love to see Puppet Master try to get a good TP play up, maybe have Asian Riceman start the fight down bot side, and then go from there. It does look like play is going to resume here in just one moment. Let's see here.
played this game, I can't even remember anybody's abilities.
You know what they do,
name
you don't know the names.
I know what they do, don't know the names. Exactly.
So here comes Asian Riceman, gets knocked up by the searing charge. Call of the Forge Gods comes out, but the Fear Beyond Death will pull him in before he can knock the Ornhorn back. That's exactly what we were talking about we wanted to see happen there. And Asian Riceman gets it done. And now, yeah, now he's probably going to get the first turret here. You know, there's no one on the side of Goopmeisters on the top side of the map. The closest one is Leona. And like we see, he gets first turret. And now if we look at the gold graphs,
3k down. Well, 2.5 now.
Yeah, 2.5k down, and that's only going to grow here. Zenith Blade does come in from Cadet, but TP's going to be channeled from Spent Puppy as the spear does connect. And it looks like both teams are trying to disengage here.
Nobody will get picked.
Up, Crystallize does come out, and that is going to force a flash out of Shumpo mechanics. Good wall placement there. That's something that we were looking out for, that we wanted to see from Spent Puppy this game. Because Shumpo did not, even though Shumpo does have the Spirit Rush to help keep them mobile, they didn't have it up, so it was either blow the flash or you die right there. And Shadow Puppies are set up for Dragon. Looks like they might just back out of the pit, though. Asian Riceman does have the level lead on Enos with the farm difference that they do have. Let's see what they can have happen here.
Seems like Puppet Master and Noir Ninja's going at it. Oh.
Heroic Charge comes out from Enos. He does get hit by the Dark Binding. Nidalee pounces in. Ultimate comes out from Leona, Zenith Blade onto Prasa here, and Spent Puppy's going to go on a killing spree as they take out the enemy jungler. Charm does land onto Cadet. He's going to have to flash out to safety to avoid taking a little bit more damage and possibly get picked up by Shunpo. And it looks like Goopmeisters are going to be on Soul Point as Noir actually roamed down.
Their third drag.
Now one more dragon and it's Infernal Soul. No matter what, I do think Shadow Puppies are going to have to contest every single dragon from here on out. They're going to have to play perfectly in order to not just give them Infernal Soul. And oh my lord, that damage!
Yep.
Shumpo got hit by the Flash Frost, and then it was over. The wall came down. No chance of survival.
And the wall is always it. It's the wall. It's the game changer. Can't do anything against the wall.
Exactly, and we do see the sheen coming out from Asian Riceman, so he's going to go and opt for the Lichbane's second item. Let's see here, Bozon's going in on the Cheshire, going to get the flash out of him, and that seems like it'll be the end of that. Pretty good, just use the Blast Cone from the Infernal Rift in the alcove to get the jump onto the Cheshire there. And now Ornn has Bramble Vest and Ninja Tabbies, or Plated Steel Cap, so it will cause Puppet Master a little bit more problem in terms of the 1v1. I mean, just look at this, though. Like, the Cheshire is so far behind that he can't even walk up to the minion wave without his support there.
Especially against the Draven. Draven will just run him down.
So here, Searing Charge comes out. The knock-up will land. Heroic Charge into the wall. Puppet Master might be in trouble. Wall comes down from Anivia, and Spent Puppy is unstoppable.
And man, we just played like a pinball machine.
Just bounced around. It's really not what you want to see here from Puppet Master, especially since he's the one with the most gold on him right now. See here, Spent Puppy might be in a little bit of trouble. Going to flash away as he picks up the kill onto the Nidalee, but the egg is going to be popped. Dark Binding is going to come out. Zenith Blade and Ultimate spent from Leona to go ahead and kind of peel as a teleport comes in. This is going to be Puppet Master. The wall comes down, and he's going to be able to slide right out of that one. I like the TP, but think Shumpo disengaging. Up. Enos is going to go back in, get charmed, and looks like that'll be it.
That was a really close interaction right there.
Yeah, now Noir Ninja's TPing. I don't know if I really agree with that. So it seems like both sides were kind of fully disengaged there.
Get a
Titanic Hydra is completed by Puppet Master. I almost sort of like Ravenous, but it does also... Titanic does give more AD based off of health, so in the long run, he'll get more damage out of it, but he'll lose out a little bit on the healing that Ravenous provides.
Yep, he's already a lot pretty tanky as is. I'm guaranteed he won't need all that healing that Ravenous will provide. He benefits more off of Titanic. With all the wave clear he has and everything.
Yeah, definitely. And second core item completions are starting to come in for Spent Puppy as well, as he picks up the Seraph's Embrace, the Verdant Berry in the inventory as well. So he is going to be building towards that Banshee's Veil. A little bit of scuffle on the top side going on right now. Searing Charge does connect. And Noir Ninja is going to flash out as he's just getting completely run down. Fear Beyond Death just pulling him out.
Oh, if they get to pick on Spent Puppy here, that's 1,000
gold. This is going to be big. This is going to be a big. Boomerang Blade does miss, and... Oh, you hate... Oh, the spear!
Dude.
Oh! Asian Reichman flashes in for the 1,000 gold shutdown, but he's going to be locked down in the turret. And that's going to be a double kill for Spent Puppy beyond the grave. As Cadet wants a little bit more, gets rooted down by the Dark Binding.
That's
And Prosy...
1,000 gold to Asian Rice.
Do you think that's worth?
Honestly, I think it's worth. The Cheshire is not worth much gold as is, and Asian Riceman also wasn't worth as much gold.
I mean, he did get the shutdown, so his gold value was reset. It wasn't a shutdown, but it's still an extra, probably about 450, 500 gold over to Spent Puppy. And now they're going. Looks like they're going to get the Infernal Soul unless there's some sort of miracle steal.
Soul.
Like, that's what I was considering too. And Poppy just goes over the wall with the heroic charge, and it's an easy cleanup for Spent Puppy. Ornhorn's coming out in the mid lane. It's gonna go wide and completely miss. Oh well, it will hit the Cheshire.
There's big brain in it.
Trying to knock up the 80 carry. Just put him even further behind.
Exactly.
So, your Shadow Puppies. Goopmeisters just got a 23-minute Infernal Soul. What do you think your play is from here?
You're gonna have to play it safe. Try to farm up and drag out the game.
I agree.
Everyone on their team is ahead, and if they want to do anything specifically against
Puppet is going for the 1v1 again. Searing Charge is going to come out from Ornn. It's not looking too good for him. Bellow Breath comes out, and Noir Ninja gets the solo kill on the top. And the ultimate was used, the Fear Beyond Death was used by Puppet Master as well, which is really unfortunate because he didn't even pick up the kill, not even a return kill.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Argonauts is still scary, man.
Yeah.
It has like the
And I mean-
fastest rocket.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, right here, look, they got the pick onto Puppet Master, and they see Shunpo on the bottom side of the map, and so they're just gonna shred this Baron.
Red team has slain Baron Nashor.
Asian Ransom is going to try to do something over here onto Ornn. He's going to go unstoppable with the Bellow's Breath, but he'll take another tower shot, and Asian Riceman will pick up the kill, getting a little bit more gold in his pockets. But meanwhile, Bozon and Spent Puppy are just sending it down mid lane. They've got the Baron buff on the minions, they've got the Infernal Soul.
And they're all powered up, ready to fight.
Puppet Zenith Blade barely misses. Solar Flare comes down, misses the stun as well, but will get the slow. Ooh. Dark Binding almost hit. Up, Enos is coming in. Will they get the Heroic Charge? The hammer will come out. Heroic Charge up against the wall will stun up Cheshire. And the ultimate from Draven will secure himself a killing spree as they're going to raise...
900. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
900 gold from killing the 0-4 80 carry.
Gold. Draven Pass is putting in work.
Yeah, and off of that, they're able to get themselves the inhibitor. Looks like they might be going for more. Heroic Charge does get Puppet Master up against the wall as Bozon's on a rampage. They might be looking to end now because Cheshire's not up for another 5 seconds, and then the death timer on Puppet Master is 40 seconds right now. Heroic Charge against the Nexus. Solar Flare comes out. Nidalee just locked up. The Spent Puppy's on a killing spree. Cheshire's coming up, trying to do as much as he can with the Boomerang Blade, trying to clear the waves. But they still have the Baron buff cannon minions just sieging on that turret. It looks like they're just going to commit for the full end here. I think they can do it. They still got another 15 seconds on Puppet Master, 25 on... Charm does land on the Boson, but the QSS comes out and the flash forward. And that's going to be the end of game 1 right there. Just complete dominance from the sides of Goopmeisters.
That's a strong performance if I've seen.
Was really, really, really well played. They pushed their leads exactly where they needed to go. They didn't get caught out that much, and they had immaculate objective control. I don't think Asian Riceman got a single objective that game. I don't think he got a Rift Herald. He didn't get a single dragon, and he didn't get a Baron. It's really, really well played from Goopmeisters. Really solid game 1 to open up the series.
Poppy and the Nivea pick was so strong. Oh my god. Just
Yeah,
the amount of pressure that exerted.
Yeah, it's the combo. They displayed it the last time that they played on stream here. And what do you do when Anivia throws out the wall, and then in comes Poppy with the heroic charge, and then the flash frost? Like, if you don't have flash, or if you don't have a mobility spell available before you get hit by the heroic charge, what do you do?
There's really nothing they can do. It's such a strong performance by the Goopmeisters. That was complete domination.
Very, very strong. Let's see as we're getting ready for game number 2. Mike, do you want to tell them what you're diamond in?
No.
We're going to get the pro draft set up here for game number 2. Does look like Shadow Puppies are going to be on red side, so they won't get first pick, but they'll get the dual pick there. What do you want to see change in the draft for Shadow Puppies this game?
I want to see either Poppy or a Nivea band. That combo is so strong, and you can see how well they can perform with those two.
Yeah, and even then, even if they don't have I think they want to ban the Poppy more, because even without the Anivia wall, you still have Poppy's W to be able to just interrupt dashes. And it interrupts higher mobility champions and kind of makes them play on the same playing field. And I mean, we saw it during that game where Asian Riceman was caught out by the Krugs, and he had to flash over the wall because he wasn't able to use his dash.
Yeah. Poppy just exerts so much pressure against mobility champs. You have to put, especially with them, their Nivea, they had so much good synergy. The combos were too good.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here as we get into game number 2. The bands start out relatively the same. Hecarim and Seraphine coming out from Goopmeisters. There's the Poppy.
There's a Poppy, man.
Couldn't let Enos have it a second game in a row.
It was just too good.
Just too good. And Udyr coming out as the last ban from the Shadow Puppies. Looks like it's getting hovered at least. See if it gets locked in.
It's unlocked.
All right, and let's see what Goopmeisters are going to pick up on B1, since they do have the first pick. What do you think are good first picks here for Goopmeisters?
Good first picks here, huh?
Anivia is still open.
Yeah.
They could give Sun Puppy Anivia again.
Anivia was a really good pick.
They'll pick for the Galio.
Okay. They get global pressure.
Yeah, and it could be flexed to the support role as well, so it doesn't exactly give that much room for counter pick, because it could be a mid lane Galio or it could be a support. Shadow Puppies are going to immediately respond with the Urgot again. Puppet Master did have a good performance on that. You know what I want to see locked in here?
What?
And this is just because I think it's just a really strong champion. I want to see Rel locked in.
Rel exerts a lot of crowd control. She has a lot of pressure just engaging.
Hmm They are
Oh,
going to opt to pick up the Sivir again for Cheshire. Didn't seem like it was the best last game, but and Goopmeisters are just going to respond back with their at least their
Draven.
hovering Draven. They are going to lock it in. Will
They
they
pick
lock in the Leona as well? Or do you think they pick a jungler here?
I'd say a jungler. If they do pick a support, they probably have to go with something really hard engage. Unless
Yeah, and
Galio is the support.
yeah, I think if they pick a jungler here, they still leave it up in the air as the possibility of Galio being the support. Yes, this is game number 2. I like that. I love me some bear action.
We're gonna see some dives. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the Call of the Thunder God with the heroic entrance is going to be really good. I don't like the Nidalee hover here. I really don't like the Nidalee hover here.
They take Natalie again. And they banned the Anivia. Okay.
I like the Nivea ban, but there still is... I guess they're betting more on the Galio going to the bottom side of the map as a support. And so just to be safe, they're directing that ban over towards Spent Puppy. But I really think Lilia would be better in almost every situation than Nidalee.
She would. She really would. It just
Morgana ban.
synergizes too well with Sivir.
Yeah, and the Morgana band's coming out again, trying to keep Cheshire a little bit less safe than he was last game. So
Game.
I also want to let you guys know as well, while they're getting ready with the last couple of bans, that we are 8 followers away from affiliate Gator IMs. And so if you like supporting the Intramural League and tournaments in general, please go ahead and consider giving us a follow. Doesn't really cost much, and it really helps and supports us, and we'd like to get to affiliate status. And thank you, George Elfeo, for the follow. Really appreciate it. And yes, Goopmeisters did win game 1.
Shadow Puppies take the Senna. Senna and Sivir.
So I have a love-hate relationship with Senna support because I think Senna doesn't offer really a lot to the lane, but it's also like it's Senna, so like if she just gets kills, it's going to work out because she does scale so hard, especially because we aren't on 11.15 or 11.5 where the Rageblade nerfs for her are in there, and we do see Lilia and the
Donate. But
they're going.
Senna can offer a good amount though. It's not the fact that it doesn't seem like she offers a lot, but it's the sustain that she can provide in the lane.
I guess that's fair. I can agree to that.
Against Draven, especially, I'm sure they're gonna try to get hard engages going on them
Mm-hmm.
and poke them down little by little. But Senna was gonna be able to heal it back up.
Mm-hmm. Orianna coming in is interesting as well. I think it's a vacuum answer. It does kind of answer Yone a little bit, but I feel like it also kind of moves Shadow Puppies towards more of like a ball comp, where they kind of want to like have everyone in the same area. So Orianna can throw her command Shockwave out onto someone like Urgot or onto someone like Nidalee when they jump in, and everyone can be affected by Sivir and her ultimate, giving them extra movement speed and things like that. I like the Lilia pick here. I think Lilia just wins against Nidalee. Like I think Lilia just in general, like even if she does get a little bit behind, she scales better than Nidalee into the later stages of the game, and her ultimate is a lot more impactful.
It definitely is. That sleep. Oh no. Guaranteed she can also have global pressure if she lands here.
Yeah. She could roll swirl seed down from fountain, hit someone, and then sleep them from there, and boom, she ganked. It's kind of like Karthus, where like Karthus has a gank on a stick.
Yeah. But Lilia's isn't guaranteed.
I do like the Gallia pick though, because it does kind of add to like the global dive pressure that they have. Because I mean, I feel like Volibear diving with the
Seems you
Wrath
left
of the
your
Thunder
brave pants
Gods,
at home.
his ultimate, and having the heroic entrance stacked on top of that is just really terrifying.
Wise.
I'm interested to see how Noir Ninja will do on the Volibear. He had a really good performance on Ornn. I remember the first week that we had them casting, or that we were casting them, my first week of casting. He ended up finishing in one game as Ornn 12-1-7 as Ornn.
1-7 as Ornn. Oh god, that's he's a tank. Ornn is an interesting champ though. He's a full tank, but he does a lot of. He can do max HP damage and then just magic damage general. Brittle is strong.
Yeah, Brittle is a very, very strong tool for damage, and it's not something that you really like, because like when you see Ornn, you don't think of damage, right?
Think of a tank.
Exactly, and the more I look at it, I really like the Yone. It has potential to be like turn out really bad for the Goopmeisters, just because of how his kit works, and if he overextends with the Soul Unbound, it's kind of like he has to go back to his body eventually. But it's definitely a really flashy champ, and I really am looking forward to see what Spent Puppy can do on the Yone in this game.
Yone has a lot of outplay potential, but it's not the same as Yasuo though. Against his brother.
Yeah, Yasuo is the king of outplay and inting potential.
I mean, they both can have outplay or inting potential. Let's be real here. They're both gonna hit that 0-10 power spike.
I remember I watched I think it was LS break down like the whole like 0-10 power spike meme, and how like in the amount of time that it realistically takes for someone to go 0-10 on a champion without just actively like legitimately running it down, they're most likely going to be at like almost 2 items. And so it's like 2 items like pre-season 11 for Yasuo and Yone was their power spike point, where they have 2 crit items completed, they have 100% crit chance, and they have Infinity Edge. And so I always found it funny looking that way, where it's like, yeah, 0-10 power spike is actually a thing because they'll have 2 items and they'll actually do damage.
It's actually a thing, yeah. It's crazy how it works.
I really like Goopmeister's draft, but I don't want to necessarily say that they want it, because I've been proven wrong before about Senna support. And maybe I'm just looking at it the wrong way. But I'm not a fan of it. I think Senna is a marksman in an AD carry.
No, she is a
And like
support. Senna is a support. She'll always be a support. You can bring her as a marksman, guaranteed. But she's not gonna have the true power that she can have if she doesn't get fed.
that is fair. I will say that as a support, she has a lot more fasting, where even if there is another champion in the bottom lane, like a Tom Kench or like a Nautilus or someone actively taking the farm, Senna's souls do offer a lot. And without those, the scaling isn't necessarily as scary, but it still can be really potent.
Especially since they changed the way her passive works now in season 11. Have you
Is that
considering
on
that?
11.5?
They're gonna change. Yeah, I think it's 11.5 actually. Yeah, where she's not gonna convert access crit into. It's just.
It's just gonna
Range.
fall off. It's
It's
just
just
range
gonna.
now.
I think it's range and lifesteal.
Okay, but
So
does she still get crit from her souls?
if she doesn't hit, if she's not at 100, she'll gain crit.
Okay,
But once
because
she hits 100, it's not gonna give her anything towards that.
I know they changed how Rageblade works, where that it doesn't convert damage anymore once the person would have 100% crit. Because that was the problem with Senna before, is that it would convert the crit chance into on hit damage, and then they would have 0% crit. So they technically never would reach. Like Senna would technically never reach 100% crit, so she'd keep on getting crit from her souls. Whereas now I believe they're changing it so that it caps. Like once Senna would have 100% crit without Rageblade, she doesn't. Rageblade doesn't start adding more on hit damage afterwards, which is the big problem. Where it's like Senna can theoretically have like 150, almost 200% crit depending on the souls, and she's still converting it into on hit damage of Rageblade.
That's kind of how like Rageblade worked with Yasuo and Yone.
Yeah.
How that was bugged for a bit.
Yeah, and like the Yasuo and Yone build was rush Rageblade and then get like 3 crit cloaks.
But with the new season though, they really buffed Yasuo and Yone. Considering that they gave their passives more AD scaling now, since it's excess crit turns into AD.
Yeah. And I also think items like Shield Bow and Gale Force also really benefit Yasuo and Yone. Especially the extra mobility from Gale Force can make for some really nasty combos where like, especially if Yone, where it's like you use Fate Sealed, they flash away, and then you Gale Force to keep on them.
Yeah, it works, man. Gale Force is an item that we never wanted, but just needed.
Everyone is so glad that they have it.
Yeah.
Man, I remember before they buffed Gale Force and lowered the cooldown, and I used that item and I'm like, this item is broken.
And Gale Force is interesting. I remember first seeing all the new items. Everybody was just like, what the hell? What is this?
What is this, giving 80 carries a dash?
More mobility?
I don't believe it.
Yes.
We get into... Looks like the 3 solo laners, the 2 solo laners in the jungle are looking for a little bit of an invade.
I'm gonna poke him down. Oof, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, Volibear's E does a surprising amount of damage in there.
The scaling of its AP is like 75%, I think.
Yeah, and so you start Doran's Ring and it's just like, you just get a lot of extra damage.
The thunder. Thunder's call.
Minions have spawned.
Let's see here. Looks like besides that, it's going to be a standard start for both teams. Once again, both starting on the bottom side of the map. No invade shenanigans or anything today.
The invade shenanigans. Those are the fun ones.
I believe it was earlier in the intramural game. Team Solo Bolo versus I'm a Believer. I was watching that game, and one of the games, both teams did like the 5-man invade, but like one team did top side, the other one bot side, and they were just like 2 ships passing in the night.
that was the best. Those are the best. You do the full rotation, nobody knows.
Yeah, exactly. And then both junglers stole each other's respective red buffs, and it was just like, hey, look. This is exactly how it would have gone anyway. It does look like the Shadow Puppies do have the push in the bottom side of the map.
See the power of Senna. Look at all these poke. Oh,
Justice Punch comes in. The Shield of Durandal come out. Crosshair has no flash. They won't be able to translate that into a kill. The flash being down on Senna, I feel like, is really big too, because Cadet still has his flash. And he does have Justice Punch to kind of close that gap a bit for the taunt from the Shield of Durand. And he's going to come in again. Taunt lands onto Prasa here. Barrier does come down as well, igniting him. One last auto flash for the first blood for Bozon.
First blood on Draven.
See, like, I feel like Senna, like, yes, she does offer the sustain, but so it's like, for a Draven, like, you don't want to be squishy. You want to have some beef there.
Yeah, that's the problem with Senna though. That's being a support. Like, she can be a really good support, but you have to remember that you're squishy. Any engage on you, you're gonna pop.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's exactly what they capitalized on.
Yep. You walk up on them, they can engage. Free.
Easy. Just hit them with the taunt and it's over. And I mean, now they have the only summoner that Goopmeisters used was the flash on Bozon. And he still has heal, and Cheshire only has flash. It's the only summoner left in the bot lane is a flash on the Sivir. Oriana's going to go take a little bit of a trade here, try to stop Spent Puppy's back.
No, he just BM'd there. Oof.
It does look like Asian Rice Man is looking for another invade here on as comes out of base on the Lilia. And they do have to here there as well, and Shumpo does have Prio. Volibear going for a pretty big trade up here. Kind of chunk it out a little bit. We'll get the chickens, and it looks like they're trying to get a little bit more. Blooming Blowsel barely misses. Asian Rice Man hopping.
Protect.
Let's see here. Oriana already has the Dark Seal in the tier. Spent Puppy only has a dagger. Not ideal for Yone. You want to get those Berserker Greaves as quickly as possible. And Puppy Master seems like he's not having a good time. He is shoved under tower, really low. He's keeping up in CS, but... Taunt comes in, it does land onto Cheshire. Spell Shield comes out a little bit late, and the Flash comes out to avoid the axes from Draven.
That Puppy gonna poke down Shimpo.
The return damage from Soul and Bound is so crazy. It looks like they're looking for a dive over here. Gallia does come out as Cadet's gonna pick up the kill. Barely limping away with his life. Ooh, that's a snipe!
That's a... Oh... That was a perfect spear.
Asian Rice Man capitalizing on the fact that Enos did show bot side for that dive, knowing that there wouldn't be any jungler nearby, and he's going to go ahead and move into Enos's topside jungle and take the Gromp and continue to try to counter jungle. Yep, Noir does TP back to lane, trying to stop Puppet Master's back as the Goopmeisters are going to secure the first dragon. But in trade, Enos will lose out on some farm. The last embrace does land onto Bozon. He does take a little damage, just as much coming in to make sure that there isn't any further engaging. It's also really important to notice too is Bozon already has a experience lead in almost 30 CS Cheshire.
He's securing that lead.
He's going to go, and Last Embrace is going to land. He'll catch the axe. Taunt comes out, but it will miss. Cadet's a little bit low. Bozon's going in here trying to get a little bit more damage, but he's going to have to back off. Boomerang Blade's going to chip him down to about half health, and can so I think he's going to want to go ahead and base here. Noir does look like he's going full AP. He has the press the attack, and he built the Seeker's Arm Guard. Which is interesting. I prefer a little bit more like just like Bruiser with like Triforce and things like that on Volibear, but I guess AP works fine too.
I think he is going more Bruiser. It's just the fact that he's gonna rush the armor first, get that extra damage on his E going in. Because it still benefits him.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, that E is chunking him right now.
Yeah.
Soul Unbound comes down from the horn. Fate Sealed will miss as Shumpo will flash it. And all the Thunderdrack comes down. Turret is disabled. Puppet Master has nowhere to run as Noir Ninja just calmly walks away from the turret.
The dives, man.
Spear will connect. Blooming Blows onto Shunpo. Soul Unbound comes out from Yone. Let's see more damage. He's gonna flash and snap back. And Shunpo's gonna live with a sliver of HP. Meanwhile, bot side, Ultimate does come down from Draven. Not quite picking up the kill on Cheshire. It's another action-packed game already with all of these plays going on, and it's only 8 minutes into, but it's not necessarily was last game, I don't think. Just good to see. No one wants to see a quick 2-0 stomp.
All trade, no poke. No picks on that.
If you look around the top of the map. Asian Riceman is getting a lot more value out of these invasions this game, since they don't have the combo of the Lilia and, Noir's gonna have to flash out of that one. And Asian Riceman's gonna flash forward, see if he can get a little bit more damage. Going to be able to pick up the kill on Noir Ninja there. Solstice does come out. There comes the Blooming Blows. Eep comes through. A little bit more damage. Gonna go ahead and call the Lilting Lullaby to put that cat to sleep. But Enos has caught himself in a little bit of a 1v2 on the wrong side of the map next to the enemy turret. Heroic Entrance comes in from Cadet as Enos will flash away to safety. Fate Shield coming out from Yona onto the Nidalee. Yapno picks up the shutdown for himself. And it looks like the Goopmeisters are going to try to go ahead and just retreat on back out of here. But Shumpo's in pursuit.
That was a really good dodge by Puppy.
Yeah, it was really, really clean. Shockwave comes out, will lock down Cadet. He's going to have to flash out, but Shumpo is just going to keep chasing him, pick up the kill.
See, if Spent Puppy would have gotten hit by that, he would have died by Urgutsol.
Yeah, 100%. And it does look like, at least by the Mythic, Noir is going AP, because that is the Leeching Leer building into the Riftmaker.
Riftmaker, okay.
I like it. It does give some Omnivamp. And I mean, Draven's just hammering the axes down onto LeCheshire. Has no response to that. It resolves.
It's the League of Draven.
Welcome to the League of Draven.
As much as I hate on League, a lot of these camps are crazy.
They are. And if we look over at the CS scores, the only real place that the Goopmeisters actually have is the bottom side of the map. Noir is behind. While he does have a kill up on Puppet Master, he is behind in CS. Shumpo is ahead in the mid lane, and the counter jungling from Asian Riceman is really a champion of such fast clear is 30 CS down at 11 minutes. Like, that's actually pretty impressive. Noir's going to come out from the river as well. Looks like they're trying to make a play for this dragon. Lilting Lullaby's going to Riceman. He's completely caught out. Fate Shield seems a little bit unnecessary, but it'll make sure that Spent Puppy's able to pick up his second kill of the game.
Gotta guarantee the kill here. Okay. Wanted a stylish kill.
I mean, that is what Yone is for. He is to make sure that it's stylish. Meanwhile, with this though, Puppet Master is able to just bang on the tier 1 turret top lane and get those plates for himself. Noir is going to TP back to lane.
And second drag.
This is what we saw last game where Enos is able to stack dragons and get that advantage early. Ooh, that's going to be really nice for the Volibear. Oop, the Fear Beyond Death does come down. Call of the Thunderdogs does come down as well. And Noir Ninja is going to be able to get the kill with the dunk on the Puppet Master. Cadet might be in a little bit of trouble. Heal does get popped from Bozon. A lot of damage coming out from Bozon as he drops out the axes to pull that kill back in for himself right before the Dawning Shadow comes out.
Close call.
Very close. A lot of damage coming out there from Bozon as well. I mean, I think Senna was dead in like, what, 3 auto attacks and an ultimate?
Dead. Yeah. Asian Rice Man over here trying to.
I'm looking to do a bit of a
Playing
negate.
for Sphere.
Sphere does hurt. Gonna hop in for the kill. He's looking a lot better on the Nidalee this game than he was last. I think the Goopmeisters necessarily have as much of like a disruptive comp for a Nidalee this time around.
Yeah, guaranteed. The poppy jungle was really disruptive for him though.
Hmm.
Not being able to jump. The pounce.
And Riftmaker's coming out for Volibear as well as his completed mythic item of choice. Gold lead's actually almost dead even. It's 200 in favor of the Goopmeisters right now, and I mean that right there was just changed to being in favor of the Shadow Puppies with Puppet Master getting the first turret. Game definitely seems a lot closer this time around. Looks like they're dancing around the Herald as Enos is going to try to start it up. Blocks on off from there. A little bit of action on the bot lane. Bozon is caught out. Shield bow does pop. Gonna try to get a little bit more damage, and Senna will pick up the shutdown. That is not what you want to see. Fate Sealed and the Command Shockwave completely whiff each other. But Spend Puppy's looking a little bit low. He's gonna have to back off here.
Yeah, using Rice Man throwing speakers in the background.
He's just throwing them. He's fishing.
He's fishing for them. Impo's low on mana. If he gets caught in a fight, he's over.
Now Prosy here has the Kraken Slayer completed. And Spend Puppy looks like he's just gonna flash away from the Fear Beyond Death, make sure that they aren't able to pick up that kill on him, but it does look like they're gonna commit 3 members on the side of the Shadow Puppies to raise the tier 1 turret in the mid lane. They definitely have a lot more tempo this game. I'm really liking the coordination and the rotations that they're having on the side of the Shadow Puppies. I think Cadet may have lingered a little bit too long in mid lane and caused Bozon to get shut down there as well.
Man.
They are able to get their first turret in the top lane. As Bozon might be in a little bit of trouble. He does dodge the spear and the last embrace, but a lot of damage is coming out from that Kraken Slayer. Up, Asian Rice Man takes a tower shot 2 extra, and Bozon's going to pick up that kill for himself. Here comes Enos in with the Bloom and Blows. Lilton Lullaby does come down onto Prosy here, and that's a double kill for the Draven. Enos might have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew. Took a tower shot. Boomerang Blade is going to go wide, as Cheshire isn't able to secure the kill with the Duskblade of Drakthar. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Duskblade on Sivir.
Her boomerang can do a lot, though.
Up, it looks like they're going to go for a dive here. Call of the Thunder God comes out. Cheshire is going to try to flash away, but the stun still connects. It's lost under turret. What can he do? Gonna go down to the Volibear.
You see, if that was me, I would have found some way to mess that up. I would have autoed the turret.
You would have missed the turret. You would have flashed behind Cheshire.
And I always end up autoing the turret whenever I try to go for dives like that.
You know, there's a function for that, right? It's called target champion
only.
Maybe you should get a key binding for that. Shumpa does get taunted, but doesn't seem like there's any follow-up. Noir flashing over the wall, just dunking on Prosy here. 1 and 4 on the Senna. And it does look like they're going to put themselves at soul point for Ocean Soul unless Asian Riceman and Shumpo can get in there, but that is a swirl seed on 2. Lilting Lullaby does come down, and Justice Punch comes in from the Galio. Shockwave coming out from Oriana. A lot of damage going on. The Misspent Puppies on a killing spree. And they get the Ocean Drink.
Really good ult. That was a really good ult by Spent Puppy.
Yeah. It's exactly what you wanted to see. It pulled both of them together from the flank. and they had Galio and Volibear in their face, so they didn't really have anywhere to go. Even though the gold lead is pretty even with all of those kills and almost 10 kills up, Goopmeisters are only up about 2,000 gold. It does seem like they're in complete command of this game, though.
They have all objective control.
Yeah, once again, 100% objective control. They didn't get first tower this time, but I mean, they were able to even up the tower score until Leicestershire takes the bottom tier 1 and proves me wrong. I really want to see Asian Riceman and the rest of the Shadow Puppies really try to contest objectives and get there early. I want to see them set up for Drakes. Get a pick, set up for Drake, don't get caught out, get good vision around the Dragon Pit, get good vision around the Baron Pit. Oh, Noir Ninja's going to go in, he's going to drop down the dunk with the ultimate.
Absolutely
And
no damage being done by Puppet Master.
oh, he will get shut down, but here comes Enos. Heroic Entrance does come down. Swirl Seed will land. Lilting Lullaby coming out to go in and put the cat to sleep again. As the Justice Punch and a big shockwave from Shumpo Mechanics, as Asian Riceman will barely limp away with what has to be maybe like 20 HP.
Oh, that's a tilter right there.
Oh, Bozon wanted that kill. And he's going to try to make it a
popping
second
off.
one. He does get the shield bow pop, but it might not be enough as he wasn't able to pick up the kill, and that will be a nice hefty shutdown over to Leicestershire. Seems like a little bit of an overcommitment there on the side of Goopmeisters. It was good that Bozon did get the kill onto Asian Riceman, but I think he kind of might have bit off a little bit more than he could have chewed, but he does have the Collector now, so he's going to do a lot more damage. The Axeman has a gun, Christian.
He has a gun. Oh. Gonna shoot some people. Wow, that sounds really bad. No. Okay.
Mike, where's the L ping?
That was so bad. Oh no.
Oh my lord. But that's still some good stuff from the Shadow Puppies, though. They're still showing that they have fight left in them, and they're not going to go quietly. If the Goopmeisters want to make this a 2-0, they're going to have to fight for it. Up, Justice Punch does miss. The Shield of Durand will come out onto Puppet Master. He's going to go ahead and continue to try to kite away. And it seems like they'll let him go safely. Meanwhile, Noir Ninja clearing out some wards. We'll get hit by that spear there and the trap. Shockwave does come down. Oh my lord, that's a lot of damage from both Nidalee and the Orion. But meanwhile, seeing most of the team on the bottom side of the map, Goopmeisters are going to start for the Baron. I really don't like this because they are at a numbers disadvantage. This is the only way that they can throw this game. This is the only way. They just need to wait until Ocean Soul and get Ocean Soul. Blooming Blows does come out. Cadet is going to go ahead and sacrifice himself. Fate Sealed comes back onto the Senna and just completely pops. I'm going to flash forward for the Sivir. Get snapped back by the Fate Sealed. And the Cheshire is just going to go ahead and clean him up. Get himself a triple kill, maybe a quadra. Shield Bow's coming down. Up, nope. Draven's going to pick up the quadra for himself instead.
Aced.
That was a really crazy fight.
That really was.
I really wasn't expecting the Goopmeisters to come out on top with being a man down in that.
Spent Pumpy landed a really good ult on 2 of their carries.
Yeah, and just completely blew up Senna. Like, Proseer was like gone in a blink of an eye. And now it looks like Noir Ninja is just going to go ahead and get himself positioned in the river and get ready for the dragon. He is sitting on a couple of wards, though, so they do know that he is in the jungle as the entirety of the Shadow Puppies are making their way through that jungle.
I have to contest this Drake. This is so point.
See here, the spear will miss Boson.
Protect.
And I like to see this because the Shadow Puppies are first into the river, so they do have the priority. And between the Nidalee Spears and the Orianna, they should be able to keep the Goopmeisters out of the river. Ooh, that's a big hit on the Boson. About a third of his health just from one spear. Looks like they're going to try to get themselves into the river here. Noir Ninja taking a decent amount of damage from some poke from both the Boomerang Blade and the spear.
Now I was
Looks
just
like-
thinking about the big LCS plays right here. Just one fight came to my mind.
See what they can do. He does land. Wilton Lullaby's going down onto Nidalee. Fate Sealed from Yon. Huge Fate Sealed.
Oh,
4 as Enos comes in. Donna Shadow comes out. Enos will go down. So will Spent Puppy with the Boomerang Blade. JRTT Cadet is in the midst of it, but it's not enough. Meanwhile, Volibear's dunking on Lechesh.
Unstoppable.
And that's going to be a 3 for 3 with Boson and Noir Ninja marching over to take the Ocean Soul from them for themselves. Puppet Master does have teleport to get back in there and try to do something, but will he try to contest this?
Boson and
It
Noir
doesn't
are
look-
so strong. They have
Volibear having the Nashers and the Riftmaker is huge.
the
Man
amount
does
of
so much damage right now. And once again, the Shadow Puppies just aren't able to secure any objectives. And we have a 25-minute Ocean Soul in our hands for Goopmeisters. Last game, it was a 23-minute Infernal Soul. Not much difference here. And they still have 100% objective control.
But Spent Puppy's just really landing them all. He's landing the perfect ones.
That was a huge ultimate there to start off the fight. Like, that was beautiful.
Because you see 3 of them just straight pop right after he lands it. Oh,
Another pause. Seems like there are some lag issues on the side of these Spent Puppy, Shadow Puppies. Spent Puppy, Shadow Puppy, God. I just realized that.
Puppy.
Only we're allowed to lag. Read the
Read
rules.
the rules. And then
SMH.
lag is a thing.
Yeah, you know all about that, Christian.
Oh, yeah.
My ping. Why does my ping spike up when I'm in team
You see,
fights?
it's one thing when you have a constant high ping. It's another when it spikes. Good.
Yeah, and it's like 1 second you're fine, and then the next second you're skating across the rift.
Seriously.
We do see Puppet Master opting for the Stride Breaker this game as well, which is interesting. I like it. It gives them a little bit more mobility to kind of stick onto Enos as well as Noir Ninja.
I like it. They don't necessarily have a front line, and guarantee Puppet Master isn't necessarily tanky because of Noir being AP.
And he does have the plated steel caps, which, while yes, there are auto attacks coming out from Bear, but they're not exactly attack like AD based.
I think Frostfire would have been a good pick here.
You think so?
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it.
It provides the slow up, giving him the tank stats he needs.
That is true.
Blue
Let's
team's
see
turret has been
what
destroyed.
the Shadow Puppies can do as we get back into the game. They once again are 0 dragons to 4, and they're not as much gold as they are down last game. Shumpo might be caught out here, and that's
Jump
Three-
deleted.
3 autos from a Draven, and the Lecter picks up the kill.
He is deleted from existence. Draven.
And meanwhile, they're now dancing around there.
Oh, that
Lilting
was-
Lullaby will land onto 2. Crossy here will flash away, but Spent Puppy will get in and pick up the kill on the Asian Rice Man. And the bowling ball landing a strike to here as the Shadow Puppies are in full retreat at this point. And it does look like they might try to go for more.
Storm unleashed.
Yeah, 20 seconds.
Boomerang Blade will take a decent amount of Enos's health off as he continues to try to clear the wave. Getting a little bit low there. It's gonna heal on up with thanks to the Ocean Soul.
You're just gonna take Baron since they can't take any objectives right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the driver's seat. Asian Rice Man's just respawning now, and I mean, him and Prasa here are already on their way from the base, but what are the rest of the team gonna do? Like, they just completely shredded Baron. Ooh, that's a chunk of damage from
distortion
Shumpo.
damage.
So your Guardian Angel picked up for Bozon as well. He's going to be a lot harder to take down now. It's not what they want to see picked up by the Draven on the side of the Shadow Puppies, but let's see how they deal with it. Spear will land onto Enos. He'll go golden as the Heroic's entrance comes down. Justice Punch comes through and will land a taunt too, but Cheshire will spell shield it. And so far, no blood has been drawn, though Noir Ninja's looking for the angle, clearing some wards. Last Embrace will land and slow him down. And it looks like they'll get away safely. It's a very good Zonia's and a very good ultimate from Galio there to keep Enos alive, because he definitely could have been caught out very easily. And it looks like here they're just going to raise the tier 3 turret up.
That puppy gets so annihilated, getting home.
Got rooted down, there wasn't much they could do, and now it looks like they're trying to go for more. Puppet Master's going to disdain forward. Both teams are kind of dancing around the minion waves here in the middle. Asian Rice Man's on the flank. See if he can land any good spears. Shumpo will go to sleep, get stunned down, and just completely deleted by Noir Ninja. He drops down the dunks onto Puppet Master, will pick up the double kill before being shut down by Puppet Master. And Asian Rice Man's going to flash away. Justice Punch will come through. Winds of War will come down as Proseer picks up the kill, but the Ignite will take down Asian Rice Man as Proseer and Cheshire are the only ones left against Enos and Bozon. And I don't know if you've been watching, Christian, but Bozon's critting for 1269 right now. He's critting for a lot of damage.
1 auto, and that's Sivir's health.
Yeah. Your Piercing Darkness will come out. Boomerang Blade to try to clear some of the minion waves. They will get one of the Nexus turrets, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and disengage here.
Are you going to go set up for Elder?
Yeah, they do have Elder Drake coming up in 1 minute and 10 seconds. And I think if they do end up getting Elder, it is going to be the end of the game. Like, if there ever was a do or die moment in this series, it's going to be in 1 minute where the Shadow Puppies are going to have to pull every single trick up, and Bozon picks up a kill onto Shenpo. So, never mind.
He's got 10 seconds. If they don't end now, which they seem like they want to,
they're gonna go for it. They still have super minions coming into the base. Bozon taking a little bit of damage, gonna get rooted by the last Embrace. Her again come out. Spent Puppy tries to go into the Soul Unbound, but won't find anything. Galio in there with the Justice Punch will get the taunt onto Puppet Masters. It looks like they're just fully committing to the end right here. Both inhibitor turrets both Nexus turrets are down as Volibear dunks in, and they're just committing full hit onto the Nexus, and Draven will get himself a triple kill as it is a swift 2-0 in favor of the Goopmeisters. Wonderful performance by Bozon. Wonderful performance by Spent Puppy.
Bozon had a really strong performance.
Oh yeah, on the Draven, both games. They let it go through, the Shadow Puppies let it go through in game 2, and it was a wrap. Both games he was able to consistently get a lead and consistently get the snowball going. And I mean, in this game, it got to a point where it was like, he 3-shot Shumpo. Before the camera even panned over to the fight down in the bottom lane, Shumpo was dead. Like, the amount of damage he was able to output as Draven in both of these games is absolutely insane.
Draven's just such a scary champ. He gets ahead.
Yeah, if he gets ahead, what do you do?
You have to throw everything at him, lock him down.
It's crazy. I definitely think the MVP for the series is Bozon. So I mean, he was able to consistently deal damage. He was able to consistently perform and do exactly what his role needed of him, which is to deal damage and carry the game. And yeah, he did have strong there were other strong performances like Spent Pumpy and Noir Ninja, but at the end of the day, like that pick right there at the end of the game onto Shumpo was what allowed them to be like, you know what, instead of just setting up for Elder, we're just gonna end the game. Like I say Bozon.
Bozon, yeah. He showed consistent performance. Look at that damage.
So Bozon, if you are watching, go ahead and join the UF Discord, and we'll make sure to get you pulled over into the channel for your post-game interview. Really good games though from Goopmeisters. I was hoping for a game 3, but I mean they were able to just cleanly capitalize on the advantages that they had and closed it out.
They had the questionable early game, but then they made it through with the late game.
Hey guys.
Bozon, how you doing, man?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Impressed by your Draven games. Both of those games, you were just in complete dominance.
Thanks. It's like my pocket pick.
I was surprised they didn't ban it after game 1, honestly.
Yeah, I was surprised too. But if they banned Draven, I wanted to get onto the Kai'Sa because I feel like that's a really strong pick right now too.
Kai'Sa's just insane. Even with the nerf, she still just does so much. I have to ask, how did it feel? I want to say it was around like minute 24 or so, where you kind of just roamed down to the bot lane and Shunpo was pushing on Orianna and you just like 3-shot her.
Yeah, I knew that I was doing a lot of damage and I had a feeling that they had no vision there. And I saw the rest of the team elsewhere, so I just went for it and kind of just deleted them.
Like it was just like I was like, oh, it looks like Bozon's coming in here to get a little bit of action of Shumpo, and before I could even finish, this dead. And I was like, okay,
yeah,
sure. But it was really, really strong performance for you from both games. The Draven and the Sivir matchup does not seem Sivir favored whatsoever, and even with the Morgana to add for like the extra protection, it just wasn't enough in game 1.
yeah.
Then in game 2, I think I was looking at it. You were critting for like 1,200 on minions.
Yeah, it was pretty big damage.
It was a lot of damage.
Big damage from Draven.
But yeah, do you have any shoutouts or anything you'd like to give?
I want to shout out my boy Javon Tavius, excellent Kane player, one of the best in NA.
Ooh, one of the best Kane players in NA. I do enjoy some Kane. He is like the edgy Sasuke Uchiha of League of Legends, but like at least Blue Kane
There's a new edgy boy in town now with Viego.
Yeah, that is true. Viego is the new. But it was a really good performance for you guys. I'm looking forward to see more
Thank you so much.
As we get into group stages over the next couple of weeks. And thank you for coming on real quick.
No problem. My pleasure being here. See you guys.
Yeah. Have a good one.
If Kane is the edgy Sasuke, who is your Naruto?
If Kane is the edgy Sasuke, who is Naruto?
Who is the Naruto?
Who is Naruto in League of Legends? Chat, what do you guys think? If Kane is the edgy Sasuke, who is Naruto in League of Legends? Do we have a Naruto champion?
Who?
Dude,
this man said Nunu.
Naruto? Naruto? Oh my god. I mean, he does transform into a scary monster when he takes damage. Like Meganar might just be QB Naruto. Like it's actually like,
oh, you're right.
God, I hate that.
The Meganar.
I also could see Ezreal as well.
Ezra. I don't know. Ezreal's so
Ezreal has that like believe it attitude. Like he really does.
like. You're about to make me start comparing League characters to Naruto characters. Like,
These are the questions that we need answers to, Christian.
Viego might as well be Itachi.
Oh no. Oh no. So I do believe that's all we have for tonight for the intramural games. Thank you all for tuning in as we look towards finishing out tiebreakers next week and getting ready for group stages as well. And I hope y'all enjoyed tonight, and I hope y'all tune in next week.